Game over.
The way they scramble for food makes them look like nothing more than weak mobs. Low HP fodder, just good for farming X. But don't underestimate frogs. One map-breaking leap. A tongue strike like a grappling hook. And near-perfect stealth camouflage. Frogs aren't background NPCs sitting outside the meta. They're hidden assassin builds, ready to gank anything foolish enough to drop its guard. The Frog class is a flagship member of the Amphibian Guild, best known for its dual biome versatility, thriving both on land and in water. Sporting a lightweight frame, soft permeable skin, and a hybrid breathing system that uses both lungs and skin, this build is all about adaptability. Its signature moves? A set of power-loaded hind legs that allow insane leap distance, and a tongue so fast and sticky it might as well be a grappling hook. Frogs primarily run an insect-based diet, but some of the larger builds push the limit by taking down smaller animals as well. Frogs are distributed across nearly every habitat, with peak densities in wet biomes such as swamps, lakes, and rainforests. While their defense stats are practically paper-thin and their survivability heavily tied to environmental conditions, their stealth, camo, and ambush tactics keep them relevant in the meta.
Yeah, boy.
Need a build that can leap across the map, land a one-shot combo, and vanish before anyone can react? The Frog class is built exactly for that. Here are the base stats for the Frog class. Don't let the squishy low HP mob look fool you. This build is optimized for a hit-and-run playstyle with a near unavoidable combo. Unlike your standard predators, frogs don't rely on chase speed or brute force damage. Instead, they invest everything into mobility, stealth, and a signature skill set that makes them one of the most unpredictable assassins in the amphibious meta. The standout feature? Jump stat hack. One leap lets them cover distances many times their body size, unlocking attack angles most predators can't even dream of. About offense, their primary weapon is a zero-frame tongue strike. Long range, near 100% hit confirmed. For insect mains, that's an insta-delete. Some high-tier builds even unlock the Venomous DLC or Poison Skin perk, turning every touch into a deadly debuff. Defense, pure glass cannon. No armor, low HP, any high-tier predator can one-shot them if they slip up. Early game is especially brutal. Eggs and tadpoles are basically free XP for anyone willing to farm. Overall, mobility S+, stealth A+, attack A, defense D, adaptability B+. Not a map-dominating build, but a hidden assassin ready to punish anyone who underestimates it. Next up, let's rank some frog builds. It is a Suriname toad. Its body is flat, and its movement speed is abysmal. It completely lacks the iconic jump hack that defines the frog class. No stealth bonuses, no offensive tech, nothing to compensate. Signature move? Brood pockets, laying eggs under its skin and letting tadpoles crawl out through dozens of holes in its back. Defensive stats? Non-existent. No venom, no toxic skin, low HP. This build only exists for players who want to roleplay a bizarre biome or flex that they picked something unique. Suriname toad easily sits in F tier. Next up is the African clawed frog. This build has fully maxed out aquatic stats, solid swimming, and even a few neat gimmicks, like detecting prey through movement cues. In terms of combat, it does have some offensive tech. Keratin claws that can scratch up small prey, but don't expect any real damage output. Defense? Mediocre HP, no venom, no poison skin. African clawed frog is a niche build that only works in a highly stable aquatic meta. That's why I'm putting it in D tier. First up, glass frog. This build comes with a pretty unique concept: transparent skin, a rare gimmick in the amphibian meta. It grants an insane stealth bonus when idle on leaves or branches, since vision-based predators struggle to lock onto its hitbox. In terms of hiding, glass frog is easily top tier in its class. The trade-off? Offense is 0. No venom, no poison skin, no burst damage. This build survives by turning itself into a living invisibility cloak, not through raw power or mobility hacks. For players who love stealth RP, this one's a solid pick. Next, flying frog. This build unlocked long-range jumps, plus a light gliding ability thanks to webbed feet and skin folds, letting it reduce fall damage and travel across canopy biomes without burning much stamina. But this is just a mobility gimmick, not a combat changer.
Oh my God.
No venom, no armor, and HP is still in the low tier. Moreover, its glide isn't enough to escape high-tier predators like snakes or birds.
I believe I can fly.
The biggest upside of the flying frog is zone control in dense forests, where vertical play matters. Tree frog. This build is the mobility king of the frog meta. With sticky toes and a maxed out jump stat, Tree Frog dominates vertical map zones. That brings tons of perks, dodging ground-based predators, reaching targets in canopy biomes, and unlocking 3D escape routes that most opponents simply can't follow. About stealth, Tree Frog's green camo provides excellent foliage blending, a huge bonus for ambush playstyles. The downside? Low HP, 0 armor, and its entire defense strategy relies on positioning. With all that in mind, I'm putting Tree Frog in B tier. Sharing the same tier, we have the Horned Frog. This one breaks the usual frog meta of speed and stealth, opting instead for brute force. Horned Frog runs a tank light plus burst ambush build. With its big body and ridiculously strong jaws, it can one-shot same-sized targets, including large insects, other frogs, and even small mammal manes. Ambush damage is absolutely off the charts. Any target that gets clipped by the first hit has 0 chance to escape. Weaknesses: low mobility, short jump range, and stealth that's only decent at best. Perfect for players who want a surprise nuke build instead of the usual speedrun style. Bullfrog is the tank lane pick of the frog meta, a complete departure from the glass cannon archetype most frogs run. It boasts above average HP, letting it tank more than one hit from mid-tier predators, something most frog builds can't pull off. The classic jump plus tongue strike combo is still its bread and butter, but Bullfrog goes a step further with grab and hold tech thanks to its powerful bite, turning many encounters into quick, decisive fights. Weaknesses: mobility is way below tree-based or flying builds. And without any poison or venom buffs, its playstyle leans entirely on raw stats instead of debuffs or crowd control. On the other hand, Tomato Frog is a debuff specialist build with a signature move, releasing a toxic mucus cloud when grabbed. This makes Tomato Frog an anti-grapple nightmare. Any predator that thinks it's secure to kill is instantly hit with a suffocating status effect, forcing a release. Strengths: excellent reactive defense tech, drastically reducing feed risk when focused. Weaknesses: a more passive playstyle than the current meta, leaning heavily on defense and lacking any real burst damage for quick kills. With these strengths, Bullfrog and Tomato Frog are ranked in A tier. Poison Dart Frog is the ultimate expression of the defense through offense strategy. It doesn't pack insane base damage, but its toxin passive is completely meta-breaking. A single touch equals death sentence for almost any predator. No armor, no speed required. Just existing turns enemies into corpses. In its native rainforest map, Poison Dart Frog is a hard lock top tier pick. Goliath Frog is also ranked in S tier. This is the brute force pick of the elite class. No toxins, no flashy colors, just raw, terrifying stats. As the largest frog build in the meta, weighing in at nearly 3 kilograms, it unlocks combat options most frog mains can only dream of. Its overpowered leg muscles make each leap not just a mobility tool, but a burst of engagement, strong enough to delete mid-sized prey like birds, fish, and even small snakes. Unlike the glass cannon builds dominating the meta, Goliath Frog can tank a hit and retaliate with lethal force. Frogs might be masters of stealth, spring-loaded jumpers with an unpredictable ambush combo. But even the stealth kings have predators. Snakes are the hard counter for most frog builds. They leverage vibration detection and top-tier stealth, allowing them to detect and ambush frogs even in water zones. Once you get caught in a grapple, you're basically auto-fed. There isn't a single build in the frog meta with an escape tool strong enough to break out of a coil or a lock bite. Birds are another brutal counter to frogs. With flight mobility, they completely nullify any terrain exploits that frogs rely on. No need for a stealth duel. One dive from above is enough to delete the target before it can react. Even poison skin frogs don't pose a real threat, because birds can just finish the kill and fly off before the debuff kicks in. Finally, humans aren't just a counter. They're the meta breaker for the entire frog class. By unlocking fire, weapon crafting, and near infinite stamina, the human build turned frogs from mid-tier predators into resource nodes. Worse yet, humans develop tech like farming and habitat destruction. Wiping entire frog builds off the server completely. The frog class has been running into some serious balance issues in the amphibian meta. The devs just dropped a new update to overhaul the entire system. Suriname Toad, famous for its skill that turns its back into a living egg chamber. Dev will buff to post-breeding recovery because this build is way too easy to camp during cooldown. African clawed frog has been dominating the water maps thanks to its claw damage and insanely strong vibration sense skill. The patch will slightly nerf its damage output when spamming claw combos to prevent it from turning the entire pond meta into a one-sided farm zone. Next, the devs are adding a passive predator camouflage, making glass frog become a legit S-tier option for stealth mains. Flying frog can glide, but its mobility hasn't been enough to outplay high-tier predators. The update will buff glide distance and unlock an aerial dodge skill, making this build a serious threat in canopy maps. Tree frog is an all-rounder build, but has been kind of bland in the meta. The devs plan to buff grip strength and vertical mobility, giving it a safer position against predators with long reach. Horned frog plays as an ambush tank, with the massive mouth plus snap kill combo. The patch will nerf its stamina to prevent grapple spam, but buff jaw damage multiplier for successful surprise attacks. For bullfrog, the devs are nerfing spawn rate but buffing mid-game HP, keeping it in the bruiser role without breaking balance. Tomato frog is getting a major utility boost, increased poison duration, and a new debuff vision blur for predators that get hit, making it a solid counterpick. Poison Dot Frog used to break the meta, but got over-nerfed in previous patches. This update buffs toxin potency slightly, and reduces the cooldown of its warning color ability, keeping it as a high-risk, high-reward option instead of a meme build. Finally, Goliath Frog will get a swim speed buff and a new skill, Shockwave Leap, turning it into a true raid boss in river maps. Your frog mains just got patched. Adapt or prepare to become a EXP farm. Your frog mains just got patched. Adapt or prepare to become a Farm X.